Last year, we had some outstanding rookies, and we were all excited to see what they were going to do with this new year coming. But it seems like that thing, the sophomore slump, hits everybody, no matter what sport, no matter who you are. It hits the players on every level, whether you were an all-star last year or you were still figuring it out last year. Everybody's dealing with that sophomore slump. In my opinion, man, the sophomore slump is nothing more than you going from being this thing we don't know in the league to now we know how to game plan for you. We've seen you go against zone. We've seen you go against man. We've seen how you shoot going right. We've seen how you shoot going left. Whatever it is, now teams have had time to understand you, put tape out there. There's tape out there on you. And if you're a big name like Angel and Caitlin Clark, the team really did study your tape. Some of these other players maybe didn't have enough tape out there, or the team didn't take time in the summer to study the tape. But best believe when you're a top player coming into your next year, we understand your game every bit of it. And so I think that is what a lot of these players are dealing with, what all players deal with that going to that sophomore slump. The difference is the stars figure it out. And we've seen that even with those two. For example, Caitlin, she was shooting 12% before her injury from three. It was a 2-game span, she shot 12%. And when she came back from injury, she lit it up and had a career night from three. Angel had her lowest rebounding game, 2 rebounds. Just a game ago, she had 2 rebounds. In the next game, she comes out and has 19. And that's just the characteristics you see from people that are stars or have those star qualities. That mentality is, I'm going to figure it out, or I'm going to do it regardless of your game plan. And that separates the stars from the not so stars. It's not just these two. Aaliyah Edwards lost her starting spot to a rookie, Kiki. Now, Kiki is phenomenal, but Aaliyah is a great player herself. She's very skilled, very talented. She had a solid season last year, and she was on par to what your rookie looked like last year. She wasn't an all-star, but she was right there where you seen the talent and said, in a couple years, this is going to mean something. She's going to be in the league for a long time. And here comes this year. She dealt with the injury at the beginning of the year, but now that she came back, she's just not cracking that rotation. I don't know if she's going to get her starting job back. But also they have Sonia Citron, that's a rookie, and that's getting a lot of hype, and she's well deserved of that hype. She's getting to it. She's getting buckets. So it's kind of like making Aaliyah kind of the odd man out when you think they'd be like, okay, let's build around this nucleus of 3 players. But I'm not sure that you can get Kiki and Aaliyah Edwards on the court at the same time for a long period. So she's dealing with it. Her numbers are down. And hopefully it was just more of an injury thing and she can bounce back and earn some of those minutes back. Then you have Rickea Jackson, who she's scoring. I pulled it up on my phone. She's scoring a point less a game. But she's struggling right now with her field goal percentage. She went from 45 last year to 39%. And it's really up and down. She's had her 30-point game. I think she had her first 30-point game where you see that potential in her. Like I was saying earlier, you kind of figure it out. And it might take some people longer than others. But then you see games where she has a horrific shooting percentage. And she's more of a jump shooting wing player. She's a forward. What do they have her listed at? She's 6'2". They're listed at a forward, but she kind of plays on the wing a lot more. But she does like to get inside and get a little bit of work done. But she's more of a wing player, so she's shooting a lot of jumpers. But still, her percentage went down a lot. And I think, again, that's just teams now knowing how you play. It's not a surprise to what Rickea Jackson's going to do when she hits the floor. So she's dealing with it too. Angel Reese is another one dealing with it. And she's dealing with it with her points per game and her shooting percentage, which she already had shooting percentage issues last year. And that's something I think that's just going to take years and years of hard work in the offseason to develop and get better at. And it seems like she's that type of person that puts in work in the offseason, because we've seen her this year now averaging more assists. You see her comfortable playing outside of the key now, and now she's slowly starting to pass out of those double teams. So there's work that's been done and development that's happened. We're just now going to wait. We're just now going to have to wait to see that field goal percentage and shot attempts and those type of things change for Angel Reese. But part of that is the defense knows how to scheme for her now. They know, hey, does the zone affect her more than playing her man up? Is she works against a smaller player or a bigger player? Like, teams have seen enough film to know, hey, we can set things up for our team to be successful against Angel. It's not a surprise. There's nothing she's going to do that's really, really going to surprise us. We've seen her do it all last year. So now let's game plan. And so I think that's what, like I've been saying for everybody, that's what they're going through right now is teams game planning. How will you adjust your game to now counteract what those teams are doing? You do have players like Camilla that points per game have actually jumped up. And that's because she didn't get off to the quickest start last year. So this might be the year where you're actually going to get a lot more tape and you're going to see a lot more from Camilla, because she did get injured at the very beginning of the season. And then she came back with minutes restrictions, and the team was kind of already flowing and playing through a system already because they had to deal with her not being there. And so maybe that is why her numbers have went up now. And maybe next year there'll be a little more film and teams will play her differently. Or it might be she just started developing a little bit more in the offseason, but she is not getting hit too hard with the sophomore slump, but she does have ups and downs. She'll have a game with 7, then she'll have a 25-point game. So her thing, maybe her sophomore slump issue, is to be more consistent. That might be it for people like Camilla. There's some other players like that. I would throw JC in there, players that didn't light up the league last year, and they're going through ups and downs this year. Last is Caitlin. I mentioned some of her stuff at the beginning of the video, but you see the defenses are playing her and force. I seen her game today. I think she was 1 for 9 or 1 for 7 from 3. And all of her misses, not all of them, but most of her misses are now coming off the right side of the court. So defense are playing her. They're playing her differently now. They don't want her going left to that fadeaway 3 because we know it's cash money. And so defenses are playing her to her weaknesses now because they have so much film on it. I've noticed some of them forcing her to the basket and then attacking her with the big, sagging off when she's in the mid-range because that's just something that she's not pulling a lot right now. So defenses have started to figure out what it is that makes Caitlin Clark so great. And so now what we will see with her is she will start adjusting and tweaking things in her game and developing things to counter what these defenses and these schemes that are now set out just for her. I see people say all the time, like, well, why isn't this player guarded the same way Caitlin is? Or why is this player guarded the same way that? Every player is totally different. I can't guard you the same way that I guard this person. You guys' skill sets are totally different. You might play the same position and you might have the ability to shoot. But let's use Caitlin for example. We know her going left increases her chances of making the shot probably by 20%. So we're going to sit on her left side to avoid her even thinking she can sniff going left, right? So why would I do that against another person that has a great mid-range game, and now I'm sitting on their left and they just take 2 dribbles going right and pull up into a mid-range jump shot? I can't guard her the same way. So that's just something I seen. Sorry, I just had to go on that rant. But all in all, we're seeing these sophomores just go through the traditional sophomore slump. And they'll come out of it. Some of them will sink. And we've seen a lot of pros after their sophomore year never hit their potential because maybe they didn't develop, or maybe the league was just too good for them. So it's going to be interesting to see who rises. We've already seen some hints of it with Angel and Caitlin. They've gone through some of their worst games and immediately turned it around and had a better game. And we'll see who just can't stick around. So that's going to be interesting to see. I'm AJ. This is my mic. Make sure you like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that, but you guys are killing the numbers, and I appreciate every one of you guys. I'm AJ. This is my mic. Peace.